And now we'd like to welcome you to the Corona Free Classroom Network and your lesson today on the mean, median, and mode. Your host today will be Gregg Thompson. Hey, how you guys doing? I miss you guys. I wish I was with you, but these things happen, right? So anyway, this is really not the Corona Free Network, but I had to think of something. So today we're going to be teaching in the woods because this is a Corona Free environment, so that's pretty good. What we're going to do is we're going to talk today about, you guys have been reading through your math book, dealing with lessons on basically how to interpret data when you've collected a bunch of data. So I have some data here. I asked myself the question, what if during this time of financial drain to help my family, what if I were to sell some of the pine trees here in my yard? So what if I were to do that? How can I estimate the kind of money that I might generate? So what I did was I went through and I took just random 20 pine trees and I measured their diameter or their circumference at about 5 feet off the ground. I measured their circumference and I took all these numbers, just kind of random trees walking through my property. I began to do that, all right? The question is what do these numbers tell me? The raw numbers themselves don't tell me much at all, but they will tell me something if I begin to analyze them. The first and easiest way to analyze when you have a data set like this is to look at the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, we're going to take the median first. The median is the simplest data point. And all you're simply doing is you're taking your first value. By the way, when you list these values, you want to put them in ascending order. So you take your lowest values. This one was 17 centimeters. My highest value was 131 centimeters. So I basically took from here and to here, and I began to add, or I just listed them in order in ascending value. Okay. So what am I going to do now to find my median? Is I'm going to look at what is the midpoint of my data set, and it's really easy. I've got 20 data points, so I simply count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Between 10 and 11, that is my midpoint. It's as simple as that. I've got 20. If I got 21, it's even easier. My midpoint is 11, right? The number, or the 11th number in the series, because I've got 10 on one side and 10 on the other. So I'm physically looking at the middle of something. So the median is really easy. Now in this case, I have an odd number or an even number. So my median is going to lie in between this digit, which is the 10th in the series, and this one, which is the 11th in the series. So all I do is I simply add those two numbers together, divide them by 2, and get the average. In this case, it's 66 and 67. Makes it easy. My median is 66.5. That's my median. Really easy to figure out. Okay. Now let's look at the mode. What is the mode? The mode deals with the frequency with which a specific number in your data set shows up. Or if you're doing a list of grocery items, the specific, like for instance, in my family with 8 kids, milk is always the mode. We always get more milk than just about anything else, unless it's cereal. The kids love cereal. But milk is the thing, right? So the whatever number appears most frequently is the mode. So I've got one of each of these until I get to 69. Notice I have 2 69s, okay? I also have 2 104s. It is possible to have more than one mode. Remember, all we're dealing with is the number that occurs most frequently. If I were to do a mean, median, and mode of a group of seniors, it might, as far as your ages, it might be that there's more 18-year-olds in the class than I have a few 17-year-olds and a few 19-year-olds, but everyone else is 18 years old. Okay, that would be the mode. It's the most frequent. So in this case, I've actually has 2 modes. I have 69. So my mode, I have 69 and I have 104 because they both occur twice. This means that I actually have what's called a bimodal data set. Bimodal means there's two modes. You can have bimodal, trimodal. This is all possibilities. And this just simply tells me what number is occurring most commonly. So there's the median, there's the mode. The last data point in analyzing this data, the last piece of information we're going to try to calculate is called the mean. We also know it as the average. Okay. In the mean, what we're going to do is we're going to add up all of these numbers. You sum them together, and once you have them summed together, you divide them by the number of points in your data set. So I've already done this calculation ahead of time. Mean. I've already done this calculation ahead of time, and my mean is 71.05 is my mean, 71.05. That's my average. So on average, these data points, the size of my trees on average is 71, just over 71 centimeters in circumference. That's the average. So if I were to go and look at the going rate, how much wood can be generated, how many 2x4s can be made from a tree of a certain circumference, and what the cost of those 2x4s is in lumber, I can go and I can estimate, given the average size of my trees, the average number of trees on my property per acre, I can go and I can get a sense of how much money I could make if I decided to sell some of my trees to help me get through this financial time. So with a data set, you can use three ways to analyze those numbers, just really simply just looking at that data set. You can take the median, which is the midway point between the lowest number and the highest number. You can take the mode, which is the number that occurs most frequently in your data set, and that might be more than one number. And you can take the mean, or the average, where you sum all of the numbers in your data set and then divide them by the number of data points that you have. And that is how you get the mean. These three pieces of information, the mean is perhaps the most critical to understand. It's also the one that we're going to need to be able to calculate standard deviation, and that's the next video.